So, hi, I'm Q from QAnon. I just want to show you what gang stalking is really like. What it's really like. Not watch my room while I'm out shopping and working. And I don't want you to just watch for gang stalkers. I want to teach you about gang stalkers. So, I'm going to go back. Okay, my friend. This is my friend. He's a lawyer. Had a menage with him and another client. Did uh, cocaine with him, and he gave me some of his pills before. He even hooked me up with the doctor, the pill mill doctor, that when I really, really got hooked on Oxy. So uh, I got 2 DUIs, blew a zero point 0. Uh, I'm not saying I was completely sober because this was back when I was doing heroin, but both times was right after a car accident. And I blew a zero point 0. Uh, the police were called for a car accident. The first time was in Madonna, Maryland. Madonna Illuminati. Into the Groove. My dad was Groove Brothers DJ. Uh, Lucky Star. Lucky was the Magic Pussycat at Red Roof Inn, Young Q. One of my neighbors had a hidden camera, a little tiny hidden camera. And when I would walk by, the cat would look at it. I was like, I don't even think you're supposed to do that. What are you doing? Are you secretly videotaping other guests? There's cameras all over the place at the Red Roof. Why does this guy have a camera? Anyway, so back to my wreck in Madonna. I was knocked out. In my brand new Camaro, hit a railroad tie. Knocked out. The police department's about 20 minutes away. So somebody called 911. No ambulance. Just the police knocking on my window. Knocked out. Completely. For 20 minutes. At least for how long it took them to get there. And that's usually I even asked Google, when someone calls for a car accident, or is the ambulance immediately dispatched? Yes. The ambulance is like a few minutes. Like, I could walk to the ambulance. No ambulance. Cop knocking on my window. I was like, I looked up. I was out of it. I was out of it. I know I had a concussion. He gets me out and he does a sobriety test. No ambulance. He asked me, do I need an ambulance? I said no. Yes, I did need an ambulance. I know I had a concussion. I hardly remember anything. And so that was the first time. The second time was the same thing. No ambulance. Same thing, knocked out. Sobriety test. Soon as I wake up, as soon as they wake me up, sobriety tests. My lawyer doesn't mention anything about this. Doesn't mention anything about it. And then the second one, exact same thing. So twice, 2 accidents, no ambulance. They say when somebody else calls for a car accident, especially when you see the driver slumped over the steering wheel, it's automatic. It's automatic. Nobody even checked me out or anything. Immediately, the sobriety. I couldn't think straight. So, then my lawyer again, when they did that, they came to the house looking for runaways. So, Runaway, Kanye West, I Am a God. Uh, we told them, they woke us up in the middle of the night. There's no runaways here. Go away. We have 25-acre farm. Get off our fucking property. They didn't. Without a warrant, they walked around the back of my property after we just told them. There's nobody here. My husband and all of my kids. Well, 2 of them. One lived on his own, so it was Chase and Kara still were living at home. Like, they're not here. And this officer walked around my property. He actually missed the pot plant, and then Chase tried to grab it and pull it inside, and then he saw it. I was like, "What? First of all, you shouldn't even have been on my property." My lawyer didn't mention it. $5,000. $5,000. Lou told him it didn't have anything to do with it. Wasn't smoking marijuana. I was on methadone, and I was taking drug tests at the time, and I was clean for weed. Still took my right to own a gun. Lou grew a pot plant, begged him not to, and I lost my right to own a gun. So my lawyer didn't say anything about not having a warrant, a search warrant, and then Lou had to get a lawyer of $5,000. This cost us $10,000, and Lou still got 4 months, and then they made it recreational right afterwards. So this is gang stalking. So even my friend, my lawyer friend, Jim, why didn't you call an ambulance? You did a sobriety test right after you woke up a person that was unconscious? Is that protocol? So this lawyer has affairs with me and other James Oddie Jr., other clients, does cocaine, does pills, and gives his pills away. We went to Escape, a titty bar on Route 40. I think it's Route 40. Pulaski Highway. I've had it. I was like, I've been betrayed by everybody, and Lou's like, he thinks they're all his friends now that we're separated because they hate me. Well, they hated you while you were with me, and they still hate you. You'll see. You'll see. And nobody likes you. They like the fact that you can control me. Without me, you're done. And like, if I were to actually die, they're going to drop you like a hot potato. But I don't die because I'm the dreamer. Ozzy Osbourne, I'm undercover. This album? Sharon! I used to live right off Sharon Road. That's where Heaven on Earth Farm is. That's where they made me homeless. And my stepdad let me live for a year and a half in the RV. And then him and my daughter both got false restraining orders at the exact same time. My daughter had me locked up in the ward 5 years ago for talking about JFK Jr. Right after she says, after she was talking about JFK Jr. And then she had me locked up for it. And talk about ETs and UFOs and stuff. So I am the real QAnon shaman. There's a song called, I think it's called Evil Shamans, and the song's Kara. Jacob Chansley says he's the real president. What has Jacob Chansley taught you about QAnon? Absolutely nothing. How could you possibly think that you're going to sue, and they're going to tell you, and act like that's actually possible to sue Donald Trump for $40 trillion. For what? You're the president? So then I'm going to sue you. Because you're an imposter. You're pretending to be Q. Jacob's Ladder, this 12 steps of consciousness. My house on Greystone Road had a loft on the second floor. 1 bedroom. House built up on stilts. Uncle Sam on stilts. Sam Gordon as my pop-pop's dad. It had one bedroom, and it didn't have stairs to it. It had a ladder. So when my friend, my ex-friend, my gang stalking friend, um, parents bought that place, and then they both died. Bob and Judy. Bob, Ted Talks. Judy, the Jetsons. Uh, Jacob, their son. That was his bedroom. So that was Jacob's ladder. And his dad's name's Tim Stewart. I think I gotta check again. I think Tim Stewart is the name of the man that something about QAnon. I think he killed people. I heard that name, and then it, and then I saw another disinfo video about QAnon. It was somebody else that did something bad, but there was a guy named Tim Stewart that did something bad, and they linked it to QAnon years ago, before I even was awake. Before I was even confirmed Q, all of these influencers, Donald Trump, I didn't even know about the 106. I was like, I am completely holistic and I'm a peace activist. I would have never, if they really followed QAnon, I'm like, you can't do that. Go do a sit-in. Go do a sit-in. And anyway, it looks ridiculous. The most heavily protected place on the planet. And there are this QAnon shaman's walking around like he's president. What? And even if they say, okay, well, we couldn't get there in time, which is horseshit. It's bullshit. Bull in the heather. By the time they were inside, that place would have been swarmed with what? Military, Secret Service, National Guard. And you just, the anons, I hate anons. They're called quidiots. That's no wonder the news, they make it look insane. They're like, oh, and Donald Trump's, related to General Patton and this, and they made up this whole bullshit story. QAnon teaches that we're all one consciousness. They took this and they're like, how can we make it just Donald Trump? And Donald Trump's a time traveler. We're all time travelers. K Reno? We're all time travelers. We're playing a advanced ET ancestor simulation. It's consciousness, where I remember being hypnotized by somebody who looked like Dana Carvey. So Foxy Lady. Foxy is 6667. That's my phone number. So F is 6, O is 6, X is 6. Because X is 24. It's the 24th letter, and then you add those together. It's 6. It's called gematria. And then Y is 25, which is 7. So if you break it down, it's 6667. My last 2 digits of my social security number is 67. The front desk man was born in 67. So now I contacted Matt Crisafulli, Worcester County. So I sent Matthew, John Denver. Denver was my last family vacation. And Annie, John Denver's song Annie. Annie is my ex-stepmother-in-law. She was born on 6/9. John and Annie's anniversary are 6/9. They sent me as incompetent in Harford County, as if I don't know guilty and not guilty. Sent me to the ward in Harford County. I thought they were going to send me there, and then I got there, and Max Bedoy. Elon Musk told me that a guy named Max works with him on Neuralink. And as soon as I got there, Max started to talk about synchronicity. I think he's the one who told me that Gordon Sumner's thing actually has a PhD. And I was like, oh, that's why he's so smart. I was like, wait a minute. If you knew synchronicity the way that song teaches it, then Gordon Sumner would be killed. I was like, and then I started to realize, I was like, this is all AI music. It's always been AI music. Always. That's why, SH, Smith Heather, that's why they do that. Don't tell. So, I thought I was going to get right out. And, nope. Next thing I know, he's putting me on medicine. I was like, wait a minute, doctor, I'm here for competency. What, do you need medicine for competency now? You just discussed synchronicity. That's all I do. That's all I do. I'm not violent. And he put me on medicine. Lithium. My hair started to fall out. I started to get tremors. My feet. This is what... And then they would yell at me when I would try to show them. Like, stop doing that. I don't want anybody to see this. I was like this. This is how to get put on my shoe. I had to... And that's okay. That's normal. That's okay. That's what you need to know that guilty means I committed the crime and not guilty means I didn't commit the crime. I'm in there with people who poop on the floor, who piss the bed. So he's like, we'll have you out here in 2 months. I said, 2 months? I was like, I could do the competency test right now. No, 2 months. And he drugged me, and then he put me on another drug, and then he upped it so fast. I see. I've committed suicide before, so I've done it so many times that like a lot of times with like Tylenol PM, I take like 20 of them. So I've tasted death. I know what it feels to be slip sliding away. It's a very unique feeling. And I was like, oh my God, I'm overdosing. And I told him I was like crawling through the hallways. And Dr. Funky Cole Medina, her name's Nurse Funky. Play that music, funky white boy. Right? Play that funky. Oh no, play that funky music, white boy. I said it wrong. So she's laughing at me as I'm slip sliding away. I'm crawling through. I was like, can you please help me? She hated me. She hated my guts. The babysitters. These women, this is what their job is. The babysitters for the people that are suicidal. They need somebody to sit at the door and just watch them. And these babysitters, all niggers, black ones, were harassing me about synchronicity because, I was teaching it to the other patients, and on my 50th birthday, this is what they did on my 50th birthday. I was in the ward for my 50th and my 51st birthday. 50th in Harford County, 51st in Worcester County. And so 5150 of involuntary psych hold, 5150 Van Halen. I explained quantum mechanics in all the vans. Halen is Halen. You can make Alena, Alena, my granddaughter, who was also, I think she's a starseed. She remembers. She says, "Do you remember being in my belly?" She says, "I was your mom." I was like, I believe you. And some of the stuff she says, I'm like, you are not just a normal little 4-year-old. I think she was 4 when I noticed it. 2024. No, she was 3. And now I'm singing all my songs to the girl who won my heart. She is only 3 years old, and that's a real fine way to start. So she was 3. Yes. And, so they're holding me there, and I just don't understand Why? Why? If I immediately go to the ward and not only can prove competency, but sitting there teaching QAnon, quantum mechanics, law of attraction, spiritual alchemy, gematria, uh, the talking about the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, Ra's Law of One, Hermes Trismegistus, and you're calling me incompetent. Like, I'm so intelligent, but I just can't understand the mechanics of a trial. Can't understand guilty, not guilty, plea bargain, stet doc, hearing, trial, judge. And they helped me, and they drugged the shit out of me. They took me to court because I said, I'm not taking these drugs. I'm completely holistic. This is poison to me. It's poison to everybody, but my body notices it. My body is so sensitive. I love coffee. I don't have a coffee maker up here. So I drink instant coffee. And he makes coffee. It's free all the time downstairs. So I was drinking it, and I started to notice I'm fucking foggy. I can't think straight anymore. And I was thinking, he uses tap water. That's it. He uses tap water. I even asked him. I said, because he was like, have some coffee. And I don't want to be, I love his coffee. I mean, it tastes okay. Well, I can't taste or smell. But it's coffee. It's actually, I like it better than the coffee over there at the shop. And they charge $5. So I told him, I said, it's not your coffee. I don't want to offend you. It's not your coffee. I said, I think you use tap water and I can't think straight. He's like, oh, no, I boil it. I boil it. I said, well, you can't boil fluoride out. It makes it worse. You boil, it evaporates and leaves the fluoride behind. So it even concentrates the fluoride more when you boil it. I don't mean to be rude, but I can tell the difference from the tap water. In the jail, this is why I think they did this to me, because they were trying to put my third eye back to sleep. They tried to close it. And in the jail, the water was already bad, but when I was there, other inmates, whether they were gang stalking me or not, understood what I was talking about. So next thing I know, the water gets shut off. They don't even tell anybody. If it wasn't, they would have told people. My friend, who was the one who understood it most, I thought she was my friend, but nobody's actually my friend anymore. She's in the shower, got a whole cooch full of soap. Whole coochie full of soap. Soapy hair. They turned the shower off. Didn't tell anybody. I was like, which I thought was suspicious. She's like, what's that guy? I need to rinse off. And so when they turn the motor back on, it's white. It's white. And you fill a cup up and the whole thing's white, and then you watch it dissolve. I'm like, it looked like you could chew it. Chewy, Star Wars. And I know why they did it. I was like, they did this because people are understanding me. And fluoride sedates you, for one, so you're just like, I just don't care. And you just can't think straight. You get real foggy. So the flood, Noah, my boyfriend of 3 years, the Elon Musk getting zooted video. That's Ryan Wilson. That is not Elon Musk. Ryan Wilson's about 20 years, 15. Let's see. Elon Musk was born in 71. Ryan Wilson was born in 86. So 15 years. He's 15 years younger than him. Go look at that video. That is not Elon Musk. Listen to the voice. Even Elon Musk's voice sounds like Ryan's with a South African accent. He looks like he could be Ryan's father. So his son's Noah. So the Chrysophylle pumps water for floods. Do you see? Like, this is beyond. This is not an accident. This is not an accident. It took too many people. It first of all took the commissioner to hold me with no bail, with no bond, for a misdemeanor. And they did it in Harford County too, because that's how they have time to send you for competency. So I know that's what she did, because she saw that I talked about simulation theory. That's all he wrote in the statement of probable cause. He didn't say that that I said I'm Q from QAnon, that my sky banner made the paper. I just said that I came out yelling that we live in a matrix, that it's a simulation. So it took that commissioner to send me with no, because I'd have bailed out instantly. I had the money myself. So it took the commissioner first. Then it takes the cop. The cop unlawfully arrested me. I was walking away. I was like, how do I get away from you? I'm so sorry that I came to enlighten you, Officer Walker. Chewy's my pony. And so I get to the jail, and it's the same thing. I tried to talk to the ward, the assistant warden. Nothing. There's no consciousness. I tried to talk to Officer Baldwin, all of them. All of the sergeants, and then, of course, the COs. Every time they came in, I would give them another piece of information. Officer Jones kept saying, wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. And then she turned into a royal bitch right at the end as I was getting ready to get out. It almost was like she knows what's coming. And she just was really ignorant to me. Right at the end, I was like, this whole time you're saying, oh, it's like a real fake. Oh, this is amazing information. It is amazing information. You're just too dumb to fucking see it. I actually thought she was CIA because the way she moves. Outcast. One officer tried to get me put in isolation. Autumn Harris. I know her first name, right? I didn't call her her first name. I said, Officer Harris, fall is my favorite season. She looked at me like, and she went and told me. She said I used her first name, and all of she tried to get me put in isolation, and she said no, she didn't. She says fall is my favorite season. So how did fall is my favorite season turn into me calling her autumn? Do you see what I'm saying? It's all documented. I didn't go to isolation because there was too many witnesses. If there was no witnesses, I'd been in isolation for saying fall is my favorite season. Officer Harris. The fall, ELO, Elon. Season of the Witch. Touch your nose if JFK Jr.'s alive. I was also told, get this. So there's a girl named Lindsay Donovan there. Donovan, Season of the Witch. I was told that Harris has dated her. Another Aluma called Lexi, a girl there for prostitution, called Lexi, looked her up when she got out and went and used her services. And Harris dates Lindsay. Wait a minute, Harris gets up close and personal with Lindsay. Could easily slip her drugs, because Lindsay is a terrible drug addict. And wait a minute, you were dated? That's all she talks about is drugs. And you dated her? And you're a CO? I don't know if this is true. This could be hearsay. So I'm just repeating what I heard. But I could tell. Oh, and then I heard she went and she told Lindsay, because I was in the pod with Lindsay. Pod is my magic pussycat. She asked Lindsay, how does she know my first name? So she went right to Lindsay to ask. I didn't call you by your first name, but I do know your first name. I said fall is my favorite season. It's the truth. My birthday's October 1st. Halloween's my favorite holiday. I just love fall. The fall of the cabal. It was nonstop. See, when you're gang stalked, each one of them does their little part and thinks it's not a big deal. Well, when you have every single fucking person do it to you, even your family, this is what happens. You have so much proof that's undeniable. Assistant Warren Drummond says she watched my videos. I told her the first time I was there, I'm going to sue you. So when she took me the second time, it was so bad. No more grievances. That's retaliation. That's a conflict of interest. I told that woman I'm going to sue her. I threatened to sue in a letter. I'm going to Dr. Chappelle. So Dr. Chappelle had no right to do my second competency. It was immediately a witch hunt. She didn't do a competency. I had to ask her, Dr. Chappelle. She's asking me why I'm sending my simulation thesis, dissertation to MIT and Fox News. Why are you doing that? Because I've made the greatest religious and scientific discovery of all time. I'm Q from QAnon. I'm not just some random ass jailhouse forensic psychologist. So it was a conflict of interest. And then both of these times they did this to me, I'm screaming to everybody. They know I have money. They know I have the money. I'm screaming. I have $2,500. My lawyer won't speak to me. So my second competency hearing was scheduled on 106. The riots. And it snowed. So, Snow Informer, Snow Hill, Maryland, whistle while you work. So it was postponed till 108. So 801 aces. I ace a competency. I know above and beyond competency. I study law as a hobby. I was asking, I was like, my lawyer won't speak to me. I want to petition the court for a writ of habeas corpus. This is judiciary misconduct. My lawyer won't speak to me. It's ineffective counsel and a breach of fiduciary duty. And they're calling me incompetent? You're still going to send me back again to learn guilty and not guilty? Do you see how many people had to look away? Chicago? 624, the album 624. My competency was ordered on 624. So yes, the album is 25 or 6 TO4, but T is 2. So that's what I see 624. So Chicago also has an album 17. 17, Q is the 17th letter. Do you see how long I've been doing this? I'm telling you, I call 911. The police run away from me. She's a little runaway. There's a line in that song about, I can't remember it right now. Hold on. You have to go listen to it. Go listen to Bon Jovi's Runaway about a message getting through, or she knew something. I'll go listen to it again. So in another video. I also want to say in another video, I can't edit my videos. I don't have the time. That's why I know they're all AI videos. Nobody could possibly have the time to research some of these videos that I'm watching, and I can see the movement. When you watch an AI video, very jerky. Just look for the little jerks. Watch the mouth and their hands. It's you could see it's all AI. All of the influencers. So the jerk. That was like one of my favorite movies. So the guy over there, he walked by and he told me his dog's name. He told me he calls them Shithead 1 and 2. And One of the dogs is Russell. Well, James Russell is the internal affairs guy that I am contacting. He doesn't block me. Interpol, M. Olmsted, they don't block me. The police at the Officer Cutter, Sean McHugh, Officer Walker, they all block me. Very low level officers with zero consciousness. None. None. I sent Officer Walker 70 some messages while I was out. Right after I got out for competency. He used that against me. He handed it to the judge. They didn't, I don't even think they gave that to my lawyer, I believe. Isn't that illegal? You have to present that for discovery and inspection. And they just handed it to the judge, and the judge looks, and this is what she says. Well, this is very detailed. It just looks at a few of them. Well, first of all, he printed out, there's no way, how can you make an informed decision if you only look at a few of the messages and you say that they're very detailed? You should have read all of them. It should have been presented to my lawyer. So when you try to send me back as incompetent, they'll be like, did you read those messages? Did you see all her ideas for businesses down here? I was like, because I'm the rock and roll space, which we asked RFK to touch his ass if JK's Jr. is alive. So I was telling him how I'm going to do a themed things, and I'm like cookies and cakes and pies and cupcakes. And I even sent him not only QAnon stuff, I sent him like witch's finger cookies to show him my vision. And they used it against me. It's the same thing my husband does, ex-husband. I send him, I stopped. I'm tired of, he's a waste of my time and my energy. And some men you just can't reach. I was sending him thousands. He don't block me either. And he goes around, and instead of saying, wow, she's incredible, he says, yeah, she's obsessed with me. No, I am not. I promise. I'm the one, no matter what Lou Smith says, I'm the one on 5/11/20 who hand wrote the separation agreement so I could go fuck somebody. Jay-Z, Jeff Zeller. And then he disappeared. Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of hurt. You see them all throwing signs and all of their photos, the signs. They do the one-eyed symbolism. You think that they're all just so enlightened that they can write music called Synchronicity, teaching you about synchronicity. What was that? What was the Synchronicity album? In the early 80s? And Gordon Sumner still has not proved that we're living in a simulation? Bashar, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, has been doing that for 30, 40 years. So now they have a new one, Elizabeth April. She talks to Jesus at 11. 11, the wake-up code for the Matrix. She talks to Jesus. She says, I remote view the Galactic Federation, 11 o'clock. I get a download of a stream of consciousness via neutrino beam through my crown chakra, since you all don't have access to that technology. That's what Elizabeth April is pretending to be me. Elizabeth, Frank Sinatra, April Come She Will. The Gypsy Queen, April Wine. April was my first sister-in-law. Her mother's Peggy Sue. I even contacted her publisher. Anybody found Q yet? I said, for one, because the publishers are behind this. They give people these, that's why you gotta sell your soul. Look, this book came out of a quantum supercomputer. You'll put your name on it. You're going to read it. And you're going to act like you wrote it. Like J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter. Bullshit. Miss Potter was my kid's first grade teacher. My brother looks like Harry Potter when he was little. So Potterer, Otte is my lawyer I had an affair with, Oddie. So Mrs. Potter's lullaby, I think it is, the Counting Crows. Crow backwards is Worcester, WORC. And do you see I have 3 subscribers? 3 subscribers. When I get, I've even seen sometimes when I'll get a few views, like real fast on a video, and then it'll go back to, my views will disappear. They push. There's some videos that I see of people with talking complete nonsense that will come up on my feed over and over again. I'm just like, I'm so tired of seeing this video. I don't want to watch this. How does that happen? How does my information doesn't go to anybody? And some videos with nonsense will, come over and over and over again. Over and over again. Nellie was a nurse at Eastern Shore Hospital Center who gang stalked me about Elon Musk. She told me she worked for Elon Musk. And I said, so I'm Elon Musk consciousness? Yes. And then when I told the doctor, she says, oh, Heather, you need help. Or when I told her to go talk to the doctor, she says, oh, no, you need to go talk to your doctor. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, I talked to you several times about Elon Musk, and Security Officer Denard gang stalked the fuck out of me, got my email information, gave me his email information, which is breaking the laws. And then I left, and I tried to send him some Q stuff, and he never answered me. Well, when I went back, Officer Denard ran away from me. I don't think he was expecting me I thought he got away with it. And then he saw me again, and I could see it in his face. He looked scared. Denard looked scared and ran away from me. The first time he would sit there and he would talk to me about Elon Musk, and he says he works with Elon Musk and 15,000 people on Zoom. I said, no, now I'm thinking, no, you're in a trap with Elon Musk and 15,000 people. He told me I owned that ward. He told me I owned that ward, and when I told them that, they turned it in before they let me before they say tell the doctor that I could do the competency test. They said, you have to say that you don't own this ward. I said, I didn't say I owned the ward. I said your gang stalking security officer told me that I own this ward, and he works for Elon Musk. You can't just keep twisting my words. My daughter videotaped Dr. Burns saying, oh, yeah, she knows the terms, but she talks over people. Dr. Burns, this is why I talk over her. I'm talking quantum mechanics, synchronicity, Dr. Carl Gustav Jung. She knows about this. And she says, yes, I know that, but you need to know your charges. I was like, I know the fucking charges. And I'd say yes, but you need to know your charges. Dr. Burns, I just told you my charges and would you like to know the number? The charge number? I got her saying it on video. She told my daughter, yeah, she talks over people. So that's why you're holding me as incompetent? Is that why I was declared incompetent? Because did I talk over Dr. Chappelle? So now you're a forensic psychologist who says I'm incompetent because I talk over people. No, I talk over dumbasses who keep repeating themselves. I'm going to talk over you. I listened to every word you say. Obviously, you did not listen to anything that I had to say because you're going to jail. She owns a lavender farm. And I even told her, I said, yeah, I'm going to own a lavender farm soon. She doesn't get it. She saw a big ass snapping turtle. She comes in, wow, I just saw a big ass snapping turtle right by my car. I was like, Snap 1517. That's my daughter's phone number. Snap, I got the power. I I'd say that was one of the dumbest psychologists I've ever met. Or most corrupt. She, and she's talking about Stephen Hawking. She says the theory of time. I said, it's the theory of everything. And I ordered that book in jail. She called it the theory of time. I read The Alchemist. She's like, oh yeah, I read The Alchemist. I said, well, I teach spiritual alchemy. Yeah, she didn't want to listen to anything that I have to say. I don't think that they're qualified. They go to these cabal-run colleges where they get Tavistock. They get all of, they get knowledge off of a quantum supercomputer, whether the machine makes songs or it comes up with psychology. It all comes from the computer, and it spits out books and songs. And then this one wrote this book, this one, wrote this song, and that's what the Illuminati is. But they don't do anything. You can make anybody famous. They offered George Bush and his son, right before he was executed. I know he was executed. At his funeral, they all got envelopes except for Jimmy Carter, because he was going to die anyway. These nuts, incompetent professor, these nuts, they all got envelopes, and it said, and I'm sorry, they know everything. He used to torture me in the astral realm, because they have technology to come into your dreams. They're astral parasites they're called archons. And he used to torture me. They wear all this adrenochrome. I don't know that happens in the physical. I don't even know if these people are real. I think that they might be Tesla bots. But they were doing the adrenochrome. They would cut my face off and they'd wear it. They need you scared, like Jennifer's body. And I could feel the pain. I could feel the pain so much that it was manifesting in the physical. My ex-husband would wake me up screaming. I was screaming in a dream and he'd wake me up. He's like, you're screaming. I was like, they're torturing me again. George Bush. And the more I told him, I was being touched. And a visible man sleeping in your bed. You could see the prints in the comforter. And I was telling him, I was like, Lou, I can see into spirit now. This place is haunted. And I would feel them touching me, and you could see, it felt like little bunny feet or a cat paw walking down. I was like, something's touching me. You're crazy. Everything that I said is crazy. As he's completely third eye blind. I have been trying to enlighten this guy with, I'd like to know what the number is, how many thousands of texts. Would you, if your ex-wife, if you hate your ex-wife so bad, and she's sending you thousands of texts, hundreds a day sometimes, just really to document a lawsuit because he's slandering me and defamation of character, I'm going to bankrupt you, Lou. You can't do that. You don't own me. He was so jealous about me finding somebody new and being happy. I didn't want to be with him anymore. I'm the one who signed that paper. He had the money to go get a lawyer first. I had to use whatever they're called, not a public defender, because it was for a lawyer, whatever it's called. I forgot. So, anyway, a lawyer did it for free, and he was terrible. It was terrible. He committed perjury. I got locked up. They locked me up. Aberdeen locked me up for reporting on Q, and then they did this on purpose. They wouldn't postpone my hearing, my divorce hearing. They did my divorce hearing without me. The first part, where I would have said, look, my farm is listed on Zillow for almost $1 million. Lou found a appraisal that said it was worth $450,000. 25 acres in Harford County. Street. Beautiful farm. 3 places to live. 2 places to rent out and a 2,800 square foot house.